it? What do you need, Shuffle Boy?
Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Angel Denise, and today we are going to kick off a new series examining the pressures of being a child star. Being a teenager and having to navigate through Hollywood while managing a squeaky clean image and balancing a hectic workload is something that drives most child stars down a dark path of destruction. Whether that is through drug use or alcoholism, stardom is a lot for any adult to handle, let alone a child. Now, as I was planning this series and decided who I wanted to cover, I want to just say that I picked Demi Lovato to begin this series for a reason. Demi has been, if not the most open of child stars to battle with addiction, body image, and she does not hide her struggles from her fans. Let's take a look at the early beginnings and path to stardom for one of my favorite Disney stars, Demi Lovato. Demetria Devon Lovato was born on August 20th, 1992, making her a Leo. She was born to parents Diana de la Garza and Patrick Martin Lovato. As a child, she grew up looking to the celebrities such as Amy Winehouse and Shirley Temple. And a little bit of a background for her parents, Diana was a former Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, actress and country musical artist, and her father, Patrick, was an engineer and musician. Demi has an older sister named Dallas, and she has an extremely close bond with Dallas and her mom. They nicknamed themselves the 3Ds when they were growing up. Demi and Dallas both would witness drunk rages that Patrick would go into. He ultimately chose drugs and alcohol over his family, and Demi even recalled that Patrick would tell outrageous lies, such as him facing death or having very serious health conditions, including cancer. Ultimately, her parents ended up divorcing. Throughout her childhood, Demi did experience a lot of sadness early on, which was often in relation to her father's issues, but also from bullying at school. Demi was made fun of for her weight, and the bullying even went as far as a death petition being created by girls in her class. Demi's talents for singing was discovered through doing pageants, and at just 5 years old, she sung Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, and later booked Barney and Friends at just 8 years old. While on Barney and Friends, Demi took piano and guitar lessons to perfect her craft.
Kittens you've ever seen? They sure are. They're cute and cuddly and very small. They're just a few weeks old. They were born at the animal shelter. What's the animal shelter? It's a place that takes care of animals that get lost or that don't have a home.
Demi booked minor roles in commercial appearances before landing a guest starring role on As the Bell Rings, a short Disney series. On said series, Demi was able to showcase her musical talents with her acting. I remember watching this for the first time and felt like she was such an amazing singer. Booking this role led Demi to audition and land for the role of Michi Torres for the new movie that Disney was creating called Camp Rock. Camp Rock featured many teen celebrities and familiar faces you've seen on the Disney Channel, including Allison Stoner, the Jonas Brothers, and Rashawn Fagan. Demi stood out during her audition for the role to the manager of the Jonas Brothers, Phil McIntyre. Phil pointed out the good on-screen chemistry that Demi and Joe Jonas both had. Taking note of this, Phil offered to manage Demi, and both her and her mother agreed to the offer. This offer would prevail Demi's career. Everything from this point on would be the rise of her career and will place her into the Disney universe and stardom. Keep up with me, guys. This is where I would like to point out the crazy schedule that Demi would begin to work and ultimately led her down a dark path on the Disney Channel. Camp Rock premiered on June 20th, 2008, released with over 8.9 million viewers, making it the second most viewed Disney Channel original movie at the time, following High School Musical. At just 15 years old, Demi became an overnight sensation, and her career took off from this point. My first impression of Demi from this movie was that she was unlike any of the other Disney girls at the time. Consider her having a sort of edgy vibe to her with her dark nails and her outfit. If I compared her to those of the likes of Selena Gomez or Miley Cyrus, she was just a lot more edgier than these girls at the time. Miley during her Hannah days wore a lot of bright colors, and Selena sort of had this innocent appearance to her, and she was very soft-spoken, and she was a mere opposite of her character that she played on Wizards of Waverly Place. Demi appeared to be the influence for the pop rock music lovers at the time. But something that stood out to me about Demi was her ability to play instruments while performing. Of course, Miley and Selena could as well, but there was just something so special about Demi. She had such a captivating on-screen persona that moved audience at home. Upon the release of Camp Rock, Demi was set to tour with the Jonas Brothers on their 2008 Burnin' Up tour. At this point, Demi was balancing acting, music, and touring. She opened for the Jonas Brothers and simultaneously was working with them on creating her first studio album, which was set to release on September 23rd, 2008. Demi's album sold 89,000 copies in its first week, including songs like Don't Forget, La La Land, and so many more hit songs from this album that are still played to this day, especially in my household. Now, I will never forget seeing the video for Don't Forget played during commercial breaks on Disney Channel, and then seeing her live performances for all of the songs that are from the album. Like, think about it, guys. Demi was 15 years old when this album came out, and she had such a powerful punk rock ballad with a conveying message for many young girls at the time to just connect with and sing our hearts out. Some of us were singing this song as if we had our hearts broken and we were like 7 or 8 years old at the time. I know I was singing it like I was in my feels. Upon Demi's album release, she landed her own TV show on the Disney Channel called Sunny with a Chance, which was a comedy sketch show. The show began filming on September 15th, 2008, and the first season ended on March 23rd, 2009. As previously stated, Demi was shot into the spotlight and was on an insane work schedule. It didn't take long for Demi to start spiraling from the obligations and expectations that she had to keep up with. Demi's second studio album, Here We Go Again, was released on July 21st, 2009, selling 108,000 copies during its first week. Her second album included songs such as Here We Go Again and Remember December. After Demi's album release, she began filming for Camp Rock 2, The Final Jam, which began September 3rd to October 16th, 2009. The film was set to release September 3rd of 2010, and her show Sunny with a Chance came to an end that same year in November. During this time, Demi was experimenting with partying and drugs, and she recalled getting into a car accident at the age of 13. Demi was injured during the accident and was later prescribed prescription medication that she began abusing. She also was drinking long before her Disney days with one of her childhood friends in order to fit in with others. Demi felt as if she wanted to have sort of the best of both worlds. To her, she wanted to have a mix of a glamorous lifestyle and keeping up this good girl Disney Channel image in order to stay on the channel, but behind the scenes, she's living this carefree teenager lifestyle while partying with friends, and she started taking Adderall and just navigating dating around this time. Now, I couldn't imagine my teenage years being publicized the way that the Disney stars are. Demi, at the time, was nearing 17, and public perception is everything to work at Disney Channel. You are tasked with being a role model while figuring out who you are, and having so many children look up to you. It's just something that I couldn't imagine. During Camp Rock 2, Demi slept in a lot to escape the pressures of the newly found fame. She became angry, and her use of Adderall led to a physical altercation with the backup dancer. For those of you that are unaware of this situation, for context, Demi's backup dancer named Shorty ended up telling the Jonas Brothers' father about her Adderall use. And Demi ended up being confronted by her team about her partying and just the overall drug use. And in retaliation, she used manipulative tactics to find out exactly who told on her. Once it was revealed to be Shorty, he walked onto her tour bus and punched Shorty. After Demi's altercation with her dancer, she entered into treatment under reasons of physical and emotional issues, which later led to diagnosis of bipolar disorder. Due to Demi still working with Disney at the time, reports would not mention Demi's drug use, but please note that Demi was struggling with her drug use as well, and she actually went to rehab. Her team ultimately gave her an ultimatum and told her that if she would not agree to go into rehab, then they would quit on her. It was at this point that Demi realized that she had a problem and agreed to get the help that she needed. Although Demi agreed to live a healthy, sober life and was promoting her progress, she recounts still using drugs at the time and even sneaking drugs during her time at rehab. She was even faking her urine screenings. This was a very, very emotional time for Demi. She went through various emotional changes. She would wake up feeling like she wanted to be sober one day, and then the next she was very suicidal and would be back to actively using. Her manager Phil felt as if he was not equipped to manage her around this time, and she would appear under the influence when making appearances and even performing. Demi blatantly states, "I did not care," during one of her interviews. For closing remarks, I would like to point out that like Demi, she ended up becoming just like the role models that she looked up to. Like Shirley Temple, Demi worked as a child and she was subject to sexual harassment. She did experience her first sexual assault during her time on Disney Channel by an undisclosed star on the network. And similar to Amy Winehouse, Demi has battled with drug and alcohol abuse. It is very eerie that Demi has dealt with some of these same issues as the stars that she looked up to. She has continued to work on herself and speak on her struggles to prevent others from going down the same path. It is not easy to be a child star while being a role model at the same time. Demi has left such an impact throughout her acting career and her music. The struggles that she has faced has been relatable and she is very, very loved by many. I will be making a separate video breaking down Demi's early adulthood, life-changing overdose, and her controversial dating history. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts down below in the comments section and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more videos like this, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.